Nothing in my family is done without a reason. He forgot the painting again. So I feel like this was like a combination of things as far as my grandfather goes. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, new lamp. But this is above the jewelry box, so I thought my grandmother threw this stuff out. Chris, you're supposed to be laying down. Then go potty. I'd been giving my grandmother knickknacks since I was very little. This is from whenever I was 5. The one from, what was it, 4? The first one, I was roughly about 3 or 4. And it was a little tiny bear. I think it was a bear with a Santa hat on. And she told me that she threw it out because it was supposed to be like the most important piece ever. Yeah, this was a silly one that I gave her one year. I got it at a garage sale. It's plastic. But a lot of them aren't. Like this one, or this one, or this one. Or this one. But I used to get her all of these little knickknacks, and I know some of them she really did throw out in her anger. And a lot of the jewelry that I gave her isn't in here. So and most of the stuff that I gave her jewelry-wise, I made. I think I was like, I want to say like 7 whenever I made this. This is where it starts. And I used to call her Mom. And I was really mad because whenever I was beating it, it spelled Mom. But then it ended up with wow instead of Mom too. I haven't called either of my grandparents that since before my grandmother died. So I called, instead of Pop and Mom, I called them grandmother and grandfather. This was some stuff from later, whenever I was in the better stuff. Not the toy beads, but real beads. With stones and, the kind of stuff that you can sell. This is a pair of earrings that I made her. This is one of the pieces that me and grandfather worked on together. And this is... I'd broken so many chains. I don't even know why this is in here. Because this should have been in my old dresser. Frankly. Oh, this goes to one of the necklaces. It was a bracelet that I made her. Obviously someone went through here because this is a stone that was done for a piece and I guess it came out or something. And this one is damaged. But, yeah. This one is... I got my grandmother this because of her birthstone. This is just a random stone that was pretty, I guess. I don't know why some of this stuff is in here because this was literally my bracelet and I kind of want to know where the stone is. Yeah. pretty much. But I often wore it with this, because the similar design up top. This one, though, I remember, these both kind of, because my grandfather kept on having to re-put stones in it, because I was a kid, and it kept on breaking, because he kept on putting turquoise in it, which is a soft stone, but later I had a different one that had a picture of, that basically I managed to put, I used to carry this around everywhere. That is my mom. And that is me. Yeah. I was always really super sentimental, especially having lost my mom. So, yeah. Like, I already know what happened to most of these, and I guess he kind of doesn't really remember because he wasn't really into that stuff or upkeeping the China hut where most of this stuff was kept. But I had like a dozen of these from different places. This one's from Virginia, also from Virginia. Why did grandmother only not throw out the two from Virginia? I don't know. I used to have some from California. I had one that was specific to Elvis's mansion. I had a Grand Canyon one. I had, you can find those for all sorts of things. I had a bunch, and I left them behind whenever I left. So, there's some random stuff. Not real flowers. Grandmother was, she was allergic to pollen like me. Naturally, the ones that she mostly kept were the ones that were religiously charged. But a lot of them weren't. She liked angels. So I would search up angels. It sort of became a thing. I mean, me and my grandmother didn't have the best relationship, but I was trying to. But there was nothing I could do that I guess could make her. Yeah. This though, I didn't give it to her. I just kept it in there. Essentially speaking, I just like bells. I still like bells. I just don't have the space to start a collection like I did. I used to collect things. I didn't really have, the most complete collection of anything. I collect porcelain. I've collected porcelain dolls, spoons. These are the collectibles. My grandmother went absolutely apeshit one day and just destroyed. I wonder why she didn't throw this one up. She was always getting really mad at me because I was always reading. So I kind of wonder why she didn't smash this one. This is just going to fuck with me, because I'm always trying to tell myself that I need to get out of that place where I'm trying to be like, somewhere deep down she cared. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not really congruent with not becoming a cryy mess. The jewelry box itself is something that I was told that she'd thrown out. She told me herself, and I know for a fact that she threw some of it out. In different fights. My grandmother was always starting a fight. Mostly whenever she didn't get her way. I got this from my grandmother from the Precious Moments store that used to be up at Metro. Whenever... Was it Metro? Yeah, it was Metro. It used to have like that candy store in the corner and all that. Yeah, whenever it was a bustling place. And the only thing it was missing from other malls was like, I guess, a skylight. There used to be a Precious Moments store though, and I got this. I'd been given a gift card, and I did what I was supposed to do with it, and then the rest was basically supposed to be to treat myself for my birthday. I didn't have enough to get what I wanted to get for myself, but I had enough to get this jewelry box. And I was just like, well, grandmother's always complaining, she doesn't have a big enough jewelry box. So I picked this up, as it was left. And I gave it to her as a present. I just saw it and thought that she'd like it. Needs cleaned down in the nooks and crannies. This was always an interesting one. See, I'm not much for gold color. This is an actual gold. This is from the earlier days, whenever me and my grandfather first got into the capuchons. It's thin. It's not set in any sort of homemade setting, because we got into silverwork too. The chain is cheap, but still intact. As for why the stone kept on breaking on this, it's because it was a soft stone, and it kept on flying up and hitting me in the face. And it essentially broke against my teeth. Yeah. Also kept on hitting other things too, but there was a couple of them that straight up broke against my teeth. I never thought I'd see this thing again. It kind of went missing whenever I was still a teenager. Like, a bunch of stuff, like the thing that held it on even broke. Like, I used to wear it even after, like, there was nothing I could do about the stone anymore. I was wearing it on a piece of yarn, okay? And I fixed up this piece of wire here to hold it. After I got my grandfather to help me drill holes, because I was not allowed to use that tool. I think I was like 13, 14. And because my hands shook on all the medications that I'd been on, I wasn't allowed. And my grandfather calls that a little fight. No. When my grandmother died, we still weren't talking. This was not a little fight. Maybe if you put it against the fights that were between my grandmother and my mom, it may have been little. But this wasn't little between me and grandmother. Me and grandmother, it usually amounted to that growing up, I would basically concede to her. It was the only way to end a fight. My grandmother did not do well being told no. In fact, she straight up got me medicated on the basis that I told her no. Yes! She went through, like, several different places until she found one that would basically medicate me because I told her no. This is why we can't have nice things. I am literally going to use this to scratch my back. Me and my grandmother did not have the best relationship. I know she played it up, but the fact of the matter is, my grandmother was a control freak. She liked to control things, she liked to manipulate the situation, and If in any way the situation did not fit her ideal, yeah. I was a kid, so I didn't quite get this. So I would do anything that I could to try and be like, hey, I love you, love me. I wanted her approval desperately. I wanted her love desperately. And I didn't have it. I picked up pretty early on that stuff meant love, as far as, like, grandmother knew how to express it. So, expensive present, look how much I love you. So I would put everything that I had into giving her gifts. Most of them I made. And she was never happy. All I wanted it looks like grandfather probably tried to clean this up a little bit before he brought it. Someone did. This really makes me wonder what grandmother did to it during that little fight. Also, my grandfather called me out right in front of his girlfriend. For the first time meeting her in person, he calls me out right in front of her. Yeah. Saying that I called him an a-hole. No, I told him that he was acting like one, because he was. So, his revenge for that was to not tell me that he had cancer. They took it out, and it's healed and been that way for months. And this was his revenge. To not tell me, and to announce that I called him an a-hole in front of his girlfriend, meeting her in person for the first time. He's kind of an a-hole. But, like, I feel like the rest of the stuff was its own sort of weird attempt at something. He even found a picture of my parents. It's extremely faded. And I know, it's a copy of a copy. He found one of the copies that we tried to make whenever I was a kid. Somewhere. Probably in an old dresser, because I used to keep them in there. And it's extremely faded, and you can't even tell that my dad was blonde in this picture. Yeah. But that was my parents. David and Carolyn. I almost started crying, and I don't cry at stuff like that. I've been trying to get a hold of something for years, because I used to have one of the original photos in AJ, that I dated, who assaulted me, before I ended up with my ex-husband, who, what do you know, decided to make me part of his MO, too. Like, I guess, saw it as a challenge, because I'd already been hurt. Most of them are like that. Aren't that patient, but he usually isn't, but apparently for this he is. Anyway, AJ was very jealous. So, one day, my picture of my parents that I carried around was just gone. It wasn't in my purse anymore. And I knew that he did it. And all I wanted was it back. And where we were at, they knew that he did it too. So they helped me look, but we never found it. It was just gone. And we were just visiting, so it's not like we could stay and like look for it all the time, so yeah. So I've been without a picture of my parents. I've had pictures of my mom, but literally the only pictures of my dad that I've ever had are the ones of him with mom. So yeah. I don't know. And there was this thing about, we're sorry for messing up your home with your house with this, all this stuff. Because, you know, I guess he had some sheets that he was getting rid of. Some of which he hadn't even used. You know, brought them over and I was like, yes, this will fit Chris's bed. Always need new sheets. Both Chris and Gene are very hard on sheets. Gene has like calluses on his heels. He will wear a hole in a set of sheets. Like you like rotate whenever you make the bed, and even then like eventually it doesn't take very much. So, I don't even know what this is. He didn't tell me. Like, it's not a lamp. Is this... It's something supposed to screw in here. Eh? Nope. Great, now I have to sit here to figure out what the hell this is. And then there's a computer that I can fix up for Chris. First I need to boot it up to see what it needs. And to see if it does need an actual full operating system. Because if it does, that's going to suck. Because we actually have to find a Windows 7 disk. My grandfather does not throw out his old phones. Like, ever. Then again, I kind of got that from him. But he also doesn't throw out the boxes, so he just repacks them up. He's got like a bunch of old Verizon phones. I see a bunch, but it's all in one box. With a home phone. So, if we ever want to get our landline back, this is probably... Oh hell, this wasn't even his. I probably haven't seen this thing since I was like 10. Where the hell was that? Because they were like, oh, we're not going to get you another camera because you keep on losing them. Well, maybe I lost it because one of you had it. Stop taking my stuff. Ugh. This reminds me of... This one is one of mine. How did he even get this one? Or is this his? I need to turn it on and see. Nope, definitely mine. It has the scrape from whenever I fell off my bike and it went like skidding across the asphalt. How did he even get a hold of that? I wasn't even allowed to have a legitimate cell phone there. Like, this was stuff that I had. He didn't jack myself. Or, this was his, though. My grandfather, like Gene, liked to have his technology updated. I just liked it to work. I don't know what we're gonna do with this stuff. I'll talk to Gene, like, yeah. He told me to, like, sell it on eBay or something. But some of this stuff was straight up mine. Like, how did you even get a hold of it? Level mine. And then there's this. I actually remember this. Whenever he was using this, I was still using a crappy little... It wasn't even a flip phone. And I really wanted a flip phone, but I was using a prepaid phone that I would have to buy the cards for, and whenever that ran out, I had to use payphones. Kids today are like, what is payphone? Kids today. And like, some of these straps were literally like, it was like an attempt to solve the problem, to stop like the stuff from flying out. Oh god. This is that complicated one that he had. Because you have to... There's like straps everywhere. This was an old Verizon phone. He liked Verizon, because... reasons. There we go. Strap. So yeah. I don't always know why he liked Verizon phones, but he did. I had like the worst luck with some of my stuff. Because I rode my bike or walked everywhere. And I know this is mine because of skid marks. Because, I had a phone like that at one point, and yeah. Oh no, wow. Yep, this was one of his. I've literally never owned a phone like this in my life. Well, I guess I do now, but... What kind of weirdness is this one? Oh. Locked? Oh, sorry, unlocked? Locked. Unlocked? Locked. Apparently they have the chargers, and I have the tool to check to make sure the batteries are good. Yeah. Yep, charger. The thing about growing up with my grandfather is that while he did not stop my grandmother from being insatiably mean and dubious, at the best of times, yeah, the phone that was in this originally I also at one point kept my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here. uh, yeah. That's kind of why it's bent out and could have stretched. I was terrible. This case lost me so many phones. Yeah. But it originally had a Verizon phone, and it had been an old one of my grandfather's. So, stop it. He hadn't wanted it anymore, and it fit a phone that I'd gotten that ended up getting lost and all this stuff. So, yeah. Then I ended up with this, and I also had like a red phone from that company at one point that was about the same. But yeah, that one got stolen, and the thing about my family is that we keep our electronics good and nice and usable again. That's how I was raised. Keep your home clean and your electronics nice, and if you're nice to your electronics, they will be nice to you. If you're nice to people, they're not necessarily nice to you. Oh my god. You know, I later got a camera that was kind of similar to this. Why does he even have this? I got this at like a thrift store whenever I was... Like, this was horribly cheap. And... I got one of these similar down the line. It was like horribly cheap and didn't let you preview anything. And I think it like killed the memory if it ran out of battery or something. No, I was at a different one. Nope. So I guess I'm gonna have to see if I can pull pictures off of it. And yeah. I took this on a trip that we went to California and just drove around. And then next thing I know, it's gone out of my room, and we're never buying you another camera again because you keep on losing them. This just makes me wonder things. Because it wasn't in my room, and it was in stuff that clearly came from my grandmother's stuff. So, yeah. I was still pretty young whenever this got lost, so kind of interested to see what's on it. Okay. Footstool. It's been forever since I've seen one of those. I've gone through most of the stuff here. Most of it is the blankets and stuff that I guess he's getting rid of. So, let's see. For twin and full, so nothing that's going to fit mine and Jean's bed. I still have to kind of pop into the thrift store and update our sheets there. Because, yeah, I shop discount for this stuff. What the hell is... Oh, yeah. Oh, no. If this works with Jean's phone, I'm never going to get it away from him. Now, to be fair, oh, yeah. This was another one. Yeah, I grew up with the whole mentality of be nice to your electronics. Take care of your shit. Keep your home clean, you know? My grandfather, though, does not seem to realize what is so baffling to me about this. Like, why would you buy this? Keep it for 3 years without opening. What did you do? Buy a spare? What did you do? Get 2 of them? But I'm gonna have Gene see if it fits his phone. It might not. fitting it in my. I think it's a little bit smaller than its current phone, so. Well, than that phone, so it should fit, because this new phone is smaller than that, but I don't know if the camera will be in the right spot, all that. But we'll see. Even if nothing else, it might be something to kind of shove over his phone for now. Alright. Yeah. I'm gonna attempt to throw this together, but I may just have to upload it in parts because the program I use does not play nice with long clips. Guess I'm done for today. I need to finish going through this and get this new clutter off the kitchen table. And kind of put away the breakable stuff. So, yeah. Seriously though, I thought she threw this out. This is going to mess with me emotionally for days. Especially that one knick-knack. But my grandmother was good at that, so it's pretty in line with her life. So anyway, I need to go take care of this. Oh yeah, also my grandfather showed the same idiocy that is how I'm avoiding certain things right now. Because it was actually what a couple of doctors wanted at some point. But I've just kind of not told the current ones. And, yeah. It was before I even had the voice that someone had kind of wanted me to, I guess, use a walker or something. And then it was suggested after that, because of my back. And I was just like, no. It's come up. My grandfather showed the same sort of idiocy that I count on. You're too young for that. Because I have been avoiding that and pain pills, and I will avoid it all as long as possible. Because, yeah. So, like, today, I woke up and my joints are pretty bad. It's not a good day. I usually deal with a lot of swelling in my joints, but today they were kind of like pop, pop, pop every time I move, especially my hip. So, yeah. And it's never a good thing whenever it's the hip that they did surgery on. So, yeah. My grandpa was like, oh, you're too young. Yes, that is exactly the sort of stupidity I expect. And it's what I count on, because the more people do that, the more people are idiots about that, the less pressure I get to do things I'm not comfortable with. Because if you are below a certain age and you're walking out there with a walker or something, you get all sorts of looks, and it's a social standard, not a medical standard. Medically, if you need it, regardless of your age. Socially, no. Today was not one of my better days, so I should have just gotten a pair of socks and wore the shoes with my lift in them instead of attempting to keep one of my heels elevated by tippy-toeing with one foot. Because today my arthritis is particularly bad, and it was actually excruciating. It was like there was broken glass in my foot. So, among other things, so yeah. It's, is not your box. Yeah, they got him all excited about that box, so I'm not going to see the end of it. Get lucky if you destroy that. That is not your box. That is Chris's box. That is his car box.